Hey everybody, this is Stephanie Janicek. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm just here hopefully for a little bit. I wanted to go back to the Last Jedi and the EW article, talking a little bit about Leia. She is a character, according to Rian Johnson, that has been defined by loss. Now, since I know a little bit about what's going to happen, I'm going to tell you guys what you know she lost is not just the only things that she's lost. So there's more to that part of her than you think. When I found out, it was devastating and very sad because it's something that both her and Han shared together. And I'm not just talking about Ben, going off and running off after Snoke. There's more to it than that. A lot more to it than that. So be prepared. We're talking about a woman who saw, the death of her planet at the hands of basically the man that she'd find out later would be her dad, her father, not her dad. There's a huge difference between father and dad. She lost her family, the family she knew, her parents, her culture. It was basically she watched an act of genocide, which is, when you think about the death of Alderaan, it's pretty disgusting. And so she's got that. Then she meets a guy that, under any other circumstance, she never would have given him the time of day. And, she tries to resist him, and he just keeps, he's working it. And he wins her. She falls in love with him. They fall in love. She and Han are very interesting to me, because these are characters, both of them, in some ways, are defined by loss. As you know, he's an orphan, so there's no connection to any blood ties for him at all, anywhere. And when he sees, there's an interesting scene during The Force Awakens where, or the Star Wars A New Hope, I should say, where General Dodonna meets them and goes up to Leia, and I'm going to paraphrase what he said. He says, when we heard about Alderaan, we feared the worst. And she says, there's no time to mourn. Paraphrasing. Han Solo heard every word she said. So he's already got an idea about what this girl is holding back. And he knows a little bit more about that because he's experienced it in a different way. So there's that connection. And, they get thrown together trying to escape Hoth, end up in Cloud City, and an amusing side note, how long were they in Cloud City before Vader sprung his trap? Think about that. To go along with the side note, Leia's wearing white all the way till before we see her going off with Han and Lando and Chewbacca to dinner. Then she's wearing kind of pink, mauve, purpley colors. Costume is everything in Star Wars, so things that make you go, what was going on and how long were they there? But anyway, back to Leia. She experiences a loss there. Seeing this man that is sacrificing himself for her, put into carbonite, which is basically suspended animation, but really it's kind of like being killed, is devastating. She goes and rescues him. They end up, taking down the shield generator, and you'd think that there would be a happy ending. And I'm still kind of miffed that there wasn't, because all the heroic characters in Star Wars deserved that right off into the sunset. Our work here is done. We're happily ever after. I don't care what people say. That was kind of like what we got, and that's what George Lucas actually kind of wanted to convey. So everything else that happened after is kind of sad. And what happened to Han and Leia is brutal. And it's not just Han being murdered by Ben. There's a bigger loss that they share together, like I said. So Leia is defined by these losses, and from what other YouTube channels have said, when we first see her, she's on Dakar, and she's crying over what happened to Han. So it's that's going to be kind of a rough scene, I think, for a lot of people, just because A, it's Carrie Fisher, God bless her soul, and B, that was a tough. I have to skip over that scene between Han and Kylo Ren. I can't watch it. I won't watch it. I just go over it. So that's going to be really hard for a lot of people. And then we don't quite know what's going to happen. There is some feeling that Laura Dern's character, Admiral Holdo, knows that Leia is, well, everybody knows that Leia is the daughter of Darth Vader, and she tries to hold that against Leia. So we don't know how Leia's going to handle that, but we do know that they don't get along very well, which isn't surprising. And then, of course, we have what looks to be the end scene, I think, in The Last Jedi. Leia on Ahch-To, because the last battle is not Crate, it's Ahch-To, and looking down at Rey, and Rey has her hair. You can just see the top of her head, but doesn't have the 3 little buns going down the back of her head. Her hair is Jedi, so she's completed her training. And I assume that this is going to be the last scene in the movie. And it's one of those things that after reading the EW article, seeing that picture, and hearing from people that know what's going on, it's pretty obvious that Rey is definitely Han and Leia's daughter. I'm going to add this. It appears that when Rey gets to Ahch-To, confronts Luke just kind of shoves her aside, so she goes and hikes around the island. And I think that things start happening to her. Images start to come. There's an interesting scene from those behind-the-scene video of the Falcon with a fire underneath it, like a campfire. And because we know that Harrison Ford is going to be in the movie as a figurative ghost and a ghost, what is going to be the interaction? Because I'm going to say this, and he is not going to interact with Kylo Ren at all. I mean, I don't. Maybe like force-back visions for Ren, but as far as like confronting him, I don't see it. But I do see him talking to Rey. I do see that, because Ahch-To, where it is and what's there, the first Jedi Temple, and the mysticism there, and the fact that there are other Force ghosts there, it would not surprise me at all. So, Rey, I think, finds out who she is in the first act. Because Daisy said she goes from being not understanding Ren, why would he do that, to being angry. And, you could be angry, but if you saw the man that befriended you, wanted to help you, tried to mentor you, murdered, and then realized that that man was your father, the dad you never knew, and murdered by your quote-unquote brother, it'd piss you off, right? I mean, I'd kick his ass, which, makes me pretty sure that is the what they're gonna do, and that's why she gets angry. She finds out who she really is, and like I said, the last scene is probably Leia and Rey reuniting, and the look on Leia's face, loss, regret, sadness, everything that would be the cross a woman who's been through the things that Leia has been through would bear. So, and you know, it just makes sense that that would be the last scene. So again, this is Steph signing out. See you around the galaxy. Oh, got one more thing. Apparently there is an Obi-Wan movie in development. So for all you fanboys, you know, have fun freaking out. I don't really care at this point. There's a point where Star Wars saturation starts to kind of bore people, and it looks to me like Disney's trying to suck it dry, which is too bad. But I'm not interested in an Obi-Wan movie at all. I mean, at all. So, but anyway, that's the news, and a little bit more about what we might find out about Leia, her losses, and how that relates to her relationship with Han and Rey. So this is Steph signing out. See you around the galaxy.